Okay, okay, hey, hey, okay, okay. Are you ready for action? Giggling as she laughing as Stevie pursue her passion, trailblazing to satisfaction. Just Stevie is everlasting. Her drive, no one could match it. We knew that Stevie could make it. On top of she always saying these words to encourage you. Stick around, she'll empower you, turning negative positive. And she just keeping it real. She doing it from the heart. Motivation was a start. If Stevie say you can make it, it's a bet that you will. It's just Stevie, just Stevie, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I am Stevie Aisha Mills, and I am the host of the Just Stevie Show. We love having you here each and every day because you are the greatest people in the world. Why? Because you have an it factor. What is the it factor? It is that God-given gift. It is that je ne sais quoi and that vada va voom that mixes and blends and calls you the dynamic person that you are. So I am absolutely excited to be hosting this show. It is a beautiful piece of my platform. We're going to be talking about platforms a little bit later, but it is indeed an honor to be here. It is special to me because I get to pour into you, my people. So sit back, relax. You might want to get a pad or a pen because, you know, our guests drop diamonds of information. Not nuggets, not gold, but diamonds, kind of like platinum. They drop it for you, and you know that you've got to be in position to get it done. You've got to be where you need to be. And today, we are going to have somebody extra special. Guys, I cannot wait till y'all hear this word of the day and see this woman because she is walking, breathing in it. It is amazing when you see words come to action. I love it. I love it. And so, without any further ado, what I want to do is, again, tell you I'll be right back. I want to have us have a word from our sponsors. Can't wait to see you on the other side. Let's see you soon.
Just Stevie, just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie.
Have you ever asked yourself, how do I show up in the world? How do I leave my mark? How do I get up every day and be the best I can be? It all starts with a mindset. The mindset to keep pushing through all adversity, to wear the titles of confident, self-reliant, and eternally beautiful. It all starts from within. Think, feel, be. Conceited.
It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie.
Welcome back to the Just Stevie Show. I am so excited to have y'all here. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this. I always have on my Facebook something called Stevie Says. And these are just things that I believe are important. And so Stevie says today that you can indeed make it. You just have to believe that you can. You believe that you can, because if you believe you can't, guess what? You're right. If you believe you can, guess what? You're right. And those two things, I would rather believe that I can before I can't. There are some things that I believe that I could not do in life and in business, but God has graced me to be able to do them. And you have to understand that you can too. You may need some help, you may need some guidance, you may need some coaching, but guess what? The more that you believe that you can, the more that you believe you can walk in it, the more you believe you can actually say, I did it, that will help your belief. So believe, believe, believe. And I want to introduce to you our segment, Word of the Day. And the word of the day to me is such a powerful word. And I'm so excited that you'll get to see just a beautiful example of it today. The word of the day is resilient. Resilient. And I asked some of my phenomenal Facebook friends, because y'all know I love Facebook. Oh my goodness, I love Facebook. It's funny because I was like, Facebook is bae. But I love Facebook because I enjoy my people. And I asked them what they thought the word resilient meant. And to them, it is go-getter, letting nothing stop you. That's what Bridget said, go-getter, letting nothing stop you. And I've been called a go-getter. I say God-getter, but I love that. I've also heard the word resilient means fighter. Marie and Marilyn said that, and that's the important thing, to know that when you're resilient, you fight for what you want. You don't take any shorts. You keep it happening. And I am absolutely excited to present to you this beautiful video that we have that introduces our guests, because you will see the resilience. You will see the fight. You will see the God-getter. You will see all of that happening, because she is that. When she walks out today, you'll understand. You'll feel that grace, that peace, and you'll understand that God gets the glory out of her story. And it's such an amazing thing. So I cannot wait for you to see the video. We'll see you on the other side.
It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie.
Who is N. Wesley Pugsley Jr. and Associates CPA.
We are a full-service CPA firm with over 25 years experience in audit, tax, bookkeeping, payroll, including direct deposit, setting a 501c3 nonprofit status, preparing loan packages, and much more. Since tax season is right around the corner, our focus today will be on taxes. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
What sets your CPA firm apart from other CPA tax preparers?
Technology. When I started in public accounting in the early 1980s, there were no computers or fax machines. Everything was face-to-face meetings. With the advent of computers, the internet, and cloud-based software, we can communicate with any client from anywhere in the country. With our portal technology, which is similar to online banking, you just sign into our secure website, upload your tax documents, you scan to your C drive, and we prepare your return. We've prepared taxes for over 15 different states in the past 3 years, from California to New York. We have the state tax software for all states. With Skype being on phones and Facebook, we can meet with you face-to-face in the comfort of your home.
It appears times are changing.
I call this the year of enlightenment. Many Americans are seeing the advantages of supporting community-based businesses. We are here to serve you, not just because we're a community-based firm, but because we have the experience. We know we can serve your needs.
How are you giving back?
If you mention the Renaissance Academy when we prepare your taxes, 5% of your tax prep fee will be donated by our firm to this organization. The Renaissance Academy is a program designed to engage middle and high school African American males in a series of college trips, community service, job shadowing, workshops, and events promoting academic and social and financial skills. See their website for more information.
It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie.
Hello, my name is Charnika Elliott, and I was asked to give my definition of the word resilience, as it was the word chosen for me by Miss Stevie Mills for her show. And for me, resilience basically means a person who never stops, a person who never quits, a go-getter, a person who doesn't let any obstacles stand in their way. They press forward and they see obstacles as opportunity. They become the victor instead of the victim. They have a faith that won't quit. Resilience is a word I think that defines me. A lot of people have, spoken about me being a person who won't stop, a person of great faith, a person who perseveres and pushes past obstacles. And even doing this video is a demonstration of resilience because I'm trying to speak loudly. I just had surgery a week ago. I had my part of my thyroid removed. I've been a little hoarse, haven't been able to speak as loudly. I have this scarf wrapped around my neck to avoid showing the scar right now as it's healing. But I wanted to press my way, and I wanted to do what I needed to do to aid in Stevie's show and to make sure she had a great introduction and whatever it was that she needed. And unfortunately, I was even in a car accident yesterday. I hadn't been going out. I've been trying to recover. Went out yesterday, picked my daughter and her friend up from a rehearsal for an event coming up in March, and we were hit by another car. He was crossing the intersection, and we were hit pretty bad. So I didn't let that stop me. I kept the faith. I prayed. I believe God was with us during that accident. It could have been a lot worse than what it was, but thank the Lord it wasn't. I'm very tired. I'm fatigued. I'm just trying to get my body back together. But resilience means that you just push past the pain and that you just keep striving for your goals. You're ambitious and you realize that setbacks happen, but those setbacks can be just the thing you need to grow even stronger to help you reach your destiny. So my final thing on resilience is just to tell people to demonstrate a faith that won't quit. God has a purpose and a plan for all of us, and there's going to be things to try and stop and block our progress, but we have to persevere. We have to put God first, and if we do that, He will give us the strength that we need to push past that pain and to be victorious in everything. We are more than conquerors through Him who loves us. So I'm trying to teach my students to push past the pain, to defeat all odds, to don't let obstacles hold them back. It doesn't matter your social status, where you come from, your family history. You can do anything you put your mind to. They can do all things through Christ who strengthens them. And resilience, I think also is, having that effect on other people. And I've seen my staff, I've seen my parents, I've seen family and friends and people in my community be encouraged and empowered just by seeing my strength and my faith. So not only am I, demonstrating a faith that won't quit, but I'm empowering others to do the same. So resilience, great word. Thank you, Stevie Mills. God bless.
Resilience!
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome back. Oh my goodness. So, we know that the word of the day is resilience. Resilient. I bet you that our spelling bee people could spell that. I'm not going to tell y'all what word I missed on the spelling bee. I'm not going to tell y'all, but I know how to spell now. And we got Siri. We can ask Siri. So, resilient. Resilient is the word of the day. And I am absolutely excited that we have defined it for you. And I want you to pay close attention during this interview that we have with the founder and administrator. Is an amazing woman. Her name is Mrs. Charnika Elliott. Let's welcome her. Hello. Welcome. Oh, we're gonna do double kiss, girl. That's some Europe stuff. I'm from Virginia. I'm from Virginia too. I love you. I love the story that you have. I love the fact that you are indeed resilient, and I want you to really just uncover your story, your testimony. Right? I want you to uncover that, and so that people can understand and they can see that you are indeed the epitome of resilience.
Okay. Well, I don't know where you want me to start.
I want you to start wherever
from
God
the very
lays it.
beginning. Okay. Well, you said that I'm the founder of Noah Christian Academy, and Noah and Christian were my two children. They were both stillborn. They were born full term without a heartbeat, and Noah was my firstborn child. Everybody was excited. My husband and I have been together since high school. We have been married for like 6 years, And I was teaching in the public school system, and, you know, we were just ready, you know, to have that child. And everything seemed to be going perfectly, and I started to, you know, have some inclinations that something was wrong, and doctors was like, oh, it's just your first pregnancy, you know, it's going to be okay. And lo and behold, in my 38-week checkup, I was having contractions, and they discovered that there was no heartbeat, which was very detrimental for us, especially being our firstborn child. So, I mean, that just kind of hit me in the gut. So, you know, you have your baby showers, you had everything, the nursery's planned, you're ready, you're thinking, you go to the hospital, your expectation is to come home with a baby and a live baby. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. With our faith and trust in God, we just, you know, decided to try again and to try quickly instead of waiting, you know, and we found out just a few months later that I was pregnant again with our second son, Christian. And I took a leave of absence from teaching. There was nothing that really, you know, showed what was going on, anything that was, you know, happened medically. But I took a leave of absence on my own, and when I took that leave of absence, I just kind of, you know, invested in myself and read things to, you know, get my spirit right. And right towards the latter part of the pregnancy, I started to get those same feelings. And I expressed that, you know, but still. And I was like, please, you know, I'm having those same feelings. I'm still feeling that sickness. And, oh, I still kind of got brushed off. And unfortunately, Christian was stillborn as well. So I can talk about it now with, you know, with strength and without being teary-eyed and without crying, because God has definitely delivered me from that pain. And I understand what David said when he said it was good for me that I was afflicted, because it grew my faith stronger in the Lord. Not that it didn't devastate me, and I felt, you know, at times like I wanted to, you know, take my own life and go with my son. And I even said that with Christian. I actually prayed, and I said, God, please take me with him. You know, just I can't go through this again. I can't deliver another child that's lifeless. And to go through that, you're in the hospital, you hear people having their babies, they're pushing, and you hear a cry, and you know that that's not what you're going to hear, was very detrimental, you know, us. And, you know, I did actually leave out of here for a little bit, and they got me back. And so I felt like that God was honoring my request. And, you know, some people know this story and some people don't, but you see a lot of times, like you hear about people who have an out-of-body experience and things like that, and I literally was traveling. And so I truly believe that's why, you know, I have that innermost connection with God too. And it was like so peaceful, so, you know, glorious, and then all of a sudden it was like really fast. And I could hear them say, we got her back, we got her back. I still wasn't completely conscious, and I hadn't woke up yet, but I could hear them talking, and I could just feel my spirit say, why, Lord? Because I knew I was headed towards him. But then after that, it was like, I have a work for you to do. I have a work for you to do. Wow. Yeah. So I don't know how much more you want me to go. You want me to
I really, I honor you for telling that, and I honor the fact that you truly just have shown us that because you go through, right? We all have gone through an it experience, right? Yep. I call it an it experience. And just because you go through that and you come out on the other side, it doesn't happen just like that.
No,
like, you know, Beyonce says, I woke up like this. That's not what we're saying.
No.
And I appreciate that for you saying that, because a lot of people don't understand that it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process that happens. And I want to know, what is that one thing that helped you process the process?
The one thing really that hit me was for me to get out of the why me. And I had to get into the why not me. And when I got into the why not me, it helped me to be able to see things in a different light. And so I started to find the positivity into it. I looked at it as, you know, at least I did get to carry children. What about people who never get to be pregnant? You know, I started thinking about those. At least I connected with my child, and God still blessed me, and they're not here. They're not going to suffer. They're not going to live in this evil world, you know, that we're in. And once I got out of that, that aided me through the process to begin my healing. But you have to get out of the why me. And, you know, sometimes we get there and we get stuck there, and that's okay, but don't stay there. Don't stay there.
That's a word. Say that again.
Yeah, don't stay there. You know, the why me is natural. I feel like it's natural for us to say that, but don't you know, you block yourself, you block the process, you block the growth, because you're letting that thing not take you hostage to what it is that God has purposed you for. And so you have to let your pain birth your purpose. And I always say I let it fuel my fire, you know, and sometimes we let the fire smolder. You know, it's there, but it's smoldering, but I let it just ignite my fire. And it just pushed me to something that God had already had inside of me. And for years I had talked about starting a school. I had talked about having a center. Even when I was pregnant with Christian, I started to write a book about having higher expectations for socioeconomically challenged youth. So these things was already developing when I was pregnant with Christian. And so it was just something to push me further, you know, to start the school, to start the center. Had that not happened, I may have gotten complacent and just, you know, been a star teacher or a master teacher is what they had called me, and never really shine and push forth into what God had put into my spirit.
Wow. And the beautiful thing about this story, there's a lot of beautiful things in this story, but what you are speaking about, and when you said your educational, like, teaching, right? God has blessed you with so many people students who, even though you went through this traumatic experience, you are sown into so many different students who you can have just that experience. And so many people don't get to have that, you know? And it takes a special woman who, I believe, just has to be a teacher, right? It takes a special heart, because everybody is not teaching from a place of sincerity.
Oh, no.
Everybody's not teaching from a place of, I want you to win. And so when you desire that, I think that sometimes everything is compassion.
It is.
It is compassion that comes through the story. And so the resilience, you know, as a fire fuels and flames, we can put it out, but it takes some resilience to get it out. My uncle was a firefighter. He retired now, but he was battalion chief. And every time he went in the fire, it was some prayer that took him back out. And so that's what I see. I just see a fiery furnace, really. You know, you've been tried by the fire. And I think that is remarkable that so much has come through this.
Oh, yes.
So much that wouldn't have been there before has come through this. And so what do you think is your definition of resilience? What does that word do for you?
It makes me think of a fighter. I heard you mention that, a go-getter, but also a person who's able to push past without a lot of damage. I feel like that a lot of times things happen, and I don't want to say damage, permanent damage. Things that keep you locked, things that keep you, you know, you think permanent damage is destroyed. And a lot of times things happen in people's lives that destroy them. And when I think of resilience, I think of myself as being able to come back up. And, you know, I have a shirt line too, inspirational tee line and a handbag line. And one of my signature shirts says, a faith that won't quit. And I think about that. You know, I have a faith that won't quit. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop.
Wow. 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 And it's funny because when I hear certain words, I think about certain places in my life. And I did quit my job, right? Yeah. My faith for that
did too. People think we're crazy. They think crazy.
And the faith was done over there, but the faith that has taken to be a bigger, brighter entrepreneur and to be, you know, who you are, that faith has been fueled. And it's just amazing because a lot of times people don't do anything with that. Yeah. They stay in the stuck, like you said, and they don't do anything. And what would you say if you could take a moment to look in that camera right now and encourage somebody who is struggling with this?
Just struggling with the loss, or just struggling
with the resilience piece. They want to quit. They want to, like you said, take your life. What would you say?
I would just tell the person to remember that the journey is more important than the destination, because what happens through the journey prepares you and equips you for where God is taking you. And so you have to be mindful that you have to go through the journey. I did a thing, View from the Mountaintop, and my husband and I hiked the Peaks of Honor, Sharp Top Mountain. And as we were hiking that mountain, it just really opened up a lot to me. And a lot of times you're going to go through times in your life where, you know, it's going to be flat. Other times it's going to be hills. You're going to have to push somebody. They're going to have to push you. And we noticed that when we were walking and going through that hike. But when we got to the top and we saw the view, all the pain. We didn't have no water. We just went unprepared. And a lot of times that happens in life. You're unprepared for what's, to hit you. And we were unprepared. We just out of the blue said, let's go. There were people who had water. People had everything. But once we got to the top, we were able to really rest in the beauty of what was there, more so than the people who caught the bus, the people who was prepared, had their water, their backpacks. So I just want to tell people that remember that the journey is more important than the destination, because the journey is what equips you and prepares you. It is a refining time. Don't get stuck there, but move in your own time, but let God push you and take you there. You can only do it when you submit to him and let him help you. And when you do that, you'll be able to have that same push, that same resilience, that same fight to where there's no permanent damage, and you can move forth and let it fuel your fire.
Amen. And we all know that God has a promise, right?
Oh, yes.
God has a mighty promise for all of us, and you have a promise.
Oh, yes.
And let's introduce your beautiful promise.
This is my daughter, Promise. She's 10. Promise, you can wave. This is my daughter, Promise. God has truly blessed my husband and I. I always said I saw a little girl. Even when I was pregnant with Noah, I laughed because I said, y'all need to check again. That's a girl. And they was like, no, it's a boy. And then with Christian, I just chuckled because I was like, oh, my goodness, a boy? No way. And so I kept saying, God promised me a girl, God promised me a girl. And I even told people I've held her in the spirit. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, oh, she kind of lost it. No, I didn't. I held her in the spirit, and I kept saying, God's going to bless me. We tried again a third time, and unfortunately that pregnancy ended in a miscarriage at 4 months. And at that point, I almost wanted to quit. And you hear voices in your head. You hear the enemy saying, God doesn't love you. He lied to you. But you have to just cancel out those thoughts with God's word. And I know that, God will never leave me nor forsake me. And so I kept pressing, and I went to this conference. I don't know how much I could tell you this. I know we're short on time. But when I was actually pregnant with the baby that I miscarried, I kept saying, I'm supposed to be at the Threshing Floor Revival that's in Atlanta. I kept feeling like I was led to go there. And I didn't understand, what God was doing. I said, well, I'm going to be pregnant. I can be laying on the floor, 8 or 9 months, but I lost that baby. And at the last minute, we decided to go. And I said, if it's God's will for me to be there, he'll make a way. And somebody had made a cancellation, and we were able to find a hotel room. We had been there 2 days, and I was like, God, why am I here? I know you sent me here. Why am I here? And we had to wear all white the last night. And we went there, and my husband and I were there in the auditorium. It was 45,000 people there. It was 3 other ladies from our church that went with us. And this couple came to us, and they said, come here. And the man said, get your husband.
Wow.
And I went and got my husband, and he just started praying and speaking over our lives. And he said, I know you don't know me. A lot of people don't like people, touching them, laying hands. But the things he was saying, we knew only God had revealed. And he placed some money in my hand. He said, this is for the ministry. He said, God is going to use y'all to touch so many lives. He said, and children and young people. And he was like, I don't know what it is. And his wife said, God is leading me to lay hands on your stomach. And she said, whatever it is that has kept you, she said, it's going to be released now. May I pray for you? And I was like, at that point, I was ready to surrender. And she laid hands on my stomach, and it was like a bolt of electricity hit me. And the ladies from the church said they were nervous because, we're in the stands, we're in the Georgia Dome, 45,000 people, you know how the seating is. And they said it was like something just gracefully laid me down. And a month later, I was pregnant with Promise. So she is the promise. And not only did God bless me with Promise, but God blessed me with Joshua. And I told everybody I saw a restaurant, and it said Noel's. Her name was Promise Noel. And it said, welcome to Joshua's Corner. I said, am I going to have a boy? God going to give me a boy? I don't think I'm going to do this. And I'm older in my age. I'm 41 years old now. And I found out that I was pregnant. You think I have been pregnant 4 times. And now here I am pregnant again. I was like, I'm not pregnant. Everybody, you pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. Found out I was pregnant. And Joshua was born on Noah's birthday 10 years later.
Wow.
After they told me I would never have a live boy.
Wow.
And so that's the miracle. She's definitely the miracle, but Joshua is the miracle because God brought everything full circle 10 years later. And so only he can do that. Only he can do that. And it still took faith. It took trust. It took obedience it took being able to sacrifice my time, sacrifice my paycheck, sacrifice my money to do what God told me to do. And I'm not saying that everybody's supposed to go start a school or some, thing when they have, losses such as that. But you have to do what God leads you to do. And the school was something that's been in me since childhood. God just gave me a name for it.
Amen. Well, honey, to God be the glory. To God be the glory. And such a beautiful child. Her spirit just exudes.
Yeah.
And that's straight from you and your husband. It's just a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. And I cannot wait to see what you do when you grow up, my dear. You're going to be doing phenomenal things. It's already, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're a bright light. And thank you for just being here. And thank you for being an example of resilience.
Me.
Yes.
Thank you. And prayerfully, something will inspire somebody to push forward through their destiny. Have a faith that won't quit.
Amen. And on that note, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
It's all in me. Yeah, I can be every woman with Brie and B, fashions and accessories.
Thank you for tuning in to the Just Stevie show today. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful walking, talking billboard of resilience. Charnika Elliott is a woman of God who has been through some mighty, mighty things, but she still came out with her promise. It is an amazing thing to know that you can be resilient. Your story may not be like hers. Your it factor experience may not be like mine, but let's get over it and go on. We can. God has equipped us with anything and everything we need to make it happen. You've just got to understand that you can. So if you are ready to continue the journey of being resilient, we will continue to pray for you. We know that God was in the mix of this show today. We will continue to pray, and I cannot wait to see you again for the next episode of the Just Stevie show. We are all about featuring It Factor rockers all in Roanoke and beyond. Can't wait for this amazing journey with you. Make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too, honey, have the power to do so. Bye for now.
No one could match it. We knew that Stevie could make it. On top of she always saying these words to encourage you. Stick around, she'll empower you, turning negative positive. And she just keeping it real. She doing it from the heart. Motivation was a start. If Stevie say you can make it, it's a bet that you will. It's just Stevie, just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie Mills. It's just Stevie, yep, just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills. Just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie. It's just Stevie, yep, it's just Stevie Mills.